in that way. Hey, let me.
It's good. Hey,
Yeah.
the NFL is doing the best job they can to make the game safe.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you making?
totally.
Are you making it out to
Safe.
Oakland
It'll
this
never
year?
be safe. I'm going to be there for the opening game. I'm going to be there Monday night to see them play the Rams, and then I'm going to go back later in the season because my buddy Mr. Franco Harris and I, on our bucket list, is to watch a Raider Steeler game in Oakland together. So Franco and I will be at that game together.
Hey, let me ask you:
wow.
Did that ball hit
Awesome.
the ground?
That ball, well, I'm getting old, and I can't remember what I saw too well, but I think I saw it hit the ground.
Yeah, that sure was one of ours.
And I think I saw it bounce off Frenchie Fuqua's shoulder to go to Franco. And I definitely know I got clipped on the play. And I know there was 2 or 3 holding penalties. And I know the refs were a big bunch of babies for not calling it incomplete. So there was all kinds of things that went wrong on that play.
Yeah. Hey, I know you're. We have been definitely your daughter's taking the lead, and they're trying to get you in the Hall of Fame because you deserve it. So she wanted us to give us out her Twitter account at Villapiano. Okay, so follow her there, and we're trying to get you and a lot of the other guys that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Guys like Cliff Branch, who should be there. Lester Hayes, guys like you. What would it mean to you to be inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Well, I loved it. When I was a young kid, maybe 8 or 9 years old, and my mother told me that I could be a football player when I grew up.
Yeah.
Ever since that day, I thought about nothing but being a football player when I grow up. I still love football. I love it to death. It's the greatest game ever invented. I'm so proud and so happy that I got to get to the upper level and play in the NFL, which is the greatest naturally football league in the world. I think that is an honor that only a few people will ever get, and it's such a tremendous honor and a tremendous goal. I have to do it, and to get to the Hall of Fame would be the icing on the cake. There would be no greater honor for me than that. And I want to know that our Super Bowl game, John Madden's pep talk, was very simple. He said, "This will be the biggest single event in any of your lives as long as you win." And I never forget him saying that. And to think that my name is up to be in the Hall of Fame, I think I might have to disagree with John. The biggest single event up to now was winning the Super Bowl, but the Hall of Fame would top that.
Well, listen, Phil, we're gonna spread the word. We're gonna get it buzzing. And I know you were on the Pillaging podcast with Kenny. We'll together and a bunch of people will get everybody rolling on this. But before you go,
that's great, guys. Thank you.
Before you go,
I
know your daughter said you had half an hour, so I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions from fans that sent it us on Twitter. If you have a couple of minutes.
Sure.
From Leonardo Govea at Govea_Leo. Out of all the players you covered on defense, who earned your respect the most?
Covered, so I'm sure he's talking about
or pummeled
pass coverage.
I think he means covered or had to block against whoever.
Well, let's say as an outside linebacker, okay, my responsibility would be to defeat the tight end first of all, and then then you got to make the tackle. So as a linebacker, and I'll tell you what Al Davis told me He said, I brought you here to make tackles. Don't worry about anything else. So let's say this guy's question is, who was the hardest guy for me to tackle? I would put him in 3 different categories. I think the toughest guys are like the guys that were like 210 to 230, and they were fast because they're big and fast. The best of those, O.J. Simpson.
Oh.
Second best, like Earl Campbell. Third best, like Sweetness, Peyton. And then Walter Payton. And then, then there was tons of others. And then there's the little guys that jump around like little fleas, like Mercury Morris and Bruce Harper from the Jets and Metcalf. These guys were a pain in the ass to try and catch those guys. They weren't hard to tackle, but they were hard to catch. So the OJs and those guys, they were hard to catch and hard to tackle. And then the guys that were the most brutal were the Franco Harrises and Larry Zonkas. The big loads, the John Riggins, the 240s, the 245 guys that could run. Those guys beat you up hard too. So I put them in 3 different categories. The little fleas, and then the bona fides, and then the big monsters. They're all tough. Any guy in the NFL who's running the ball is tough and hard.
All right,
I just wanted to. Sorry, JB. I just wanted to say as well that we missed out something. Basically, there's also a Facebook page dedicated to getting Phil into the Hall of Fame. You can check it out at Phil Villapiano Fu into the Hall of Fame. I just wanted to basically just put that out there as well, because obviously we said about Phil's daughter's Twitter account, but also there's Facebook as well. So be sure to check that out and give that a look.
All right, last fan question.
Well, thank you, Gavin. That's very nice of you to say that. And yeah, I know my daughter Andrea, she's too much. So I think I want the whole world to call her up and drive her. Whatever you do, you Facebook her or Twitter her, drive her crazy. She loves it.
Will do. All right, last question before we let you go. From Brazy @_Brazy. Who's the one SOB you played against you would still punch in the face? And what was the last thing you said to Al Davis and he said to you?
Nobody I hated worse than a guy named Conrad Dobler. Conrad was the meanest, rottenest guy in the NFL. And if you ever turned your back on him, he's hitting you. Don't worry about it. And he's going to hit you in the knees. And he's going to hit you in the head. He's going to hit you in the throat. Conrad was the meanest SOP ever to play in the NFL.
Which team?
As far as I'm concerned. Connie played for the Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals, and he played for the New Orleans Saints, and that's when somehow or another he knew that I had a broken rib, and the very first play of the game he came out and hit me with an uppercut right in my rib, which if it wasn't broke, it was broke after that. So yeah, and then we proceeded to hate each other forever.
Awesome.
So that's the worst guy.
Are you coming out to the tailgate?
Question?
Oh, what was the last thing you and Al Davis said to each other?
Oh, the last thing, the last thing that Al Davis told me was, "What's the matter with you?" And I said, "What are you talking about, Al?" He says, "Don't you ever tell anybody that there was a better linebacker than a Raider linebacker." Because I did a thing for NFL Films, and we were talking about Lawrence Taylor, and I told the whole world that I thought what a great player he was. And Al was mad because he thinks I should only mention Raiders. Don't ever mention anybody but Raiders. And and I asked him for his forgiveness. He forgave me, and that was at George Blanda's. We had a party for George Blanda when he died, and Al was nice enough to host that party. And he started the night being mad. I mean, then he got happy with me at the end of the night.
Are you coming out to the tailgate opening night?
The tailgate opening night in Oakland?
Yeah. Do you come around, usually walk around the tailgate area? Or what is your...
Yeah, I'll be there because that's the Monday night game against the Rams, right?
Yeah, on the 10th. Yeah, I'll definitely be there too. Yeah. Flying in.
Yeah, I'll be there, and yeah, I'll do something. Maybe the Black Hole has a big tailgate. I like to go over there. I like to make a couple stops. I'll be out there somewhere in that parking lot.
Awesome. Alrighty. Well,
so hopefully I get to see you guys.
Yeah.
Get a hold of Andrea. Andrea will tell you where I'm at.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
you'll have to come over to London and come to the game over here.
Gavin, I think that would be wonderful. Make sure you get your tickets because it's going to be a monster night, and I would love to come over there. But I don't know I don't know this year, but I'm going to retire pretty soon. And when I retire, I may go to every game. I'm definitely going to buy season tickets in Vegas. That's for sure. And then then who knows? Maybe I'll get to London sometime.
Well, if you ever do come to London, I will gladly buy you a pint of beer.
Thank you. I would love that.
Imagine your team playing in Vegas, huh? The 70s Raiders. That would be something.
I don't know if too many guys if we could have fielded a whole team on Sunday if our team was there, but we'd have found a way. We would have found a way. I can't wait to see our Raiders in Vegas. Even though I love Oakland to death, and don't get me wrong, I love Oakland to death, but just like the rules changed in football, things change, and we're going to go to Oakland. We're going to keep a smile on our face, and we're going to still be the Raiders, and we're going to have a great time. And the people from Oakland could fly over the mountains there and have a great weekend. They deserve a break too, so they could come to Oakland and see the boys play.
Amazing. Yeah. Phil, I can't thank you enough for coming on. Thank you so much. You're an awesome
boys.
guy.
You call me anytime. You guys are great guys, and I hope we did a good show tonight. That's what I hope.
Oh, it was amazing.
Thanks,
it was
Phil.
a best show. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Okay, guys. Bye-bye. Good night.
Take care, Phil. Bye-bye.